that was the one thing that I was telling you, how this episode, there's a moment where I just lost my shit, and that's why I love this show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, aka T3P, where this dynamic duo talks about the holy trinity of pop culture. Well, wait, this isn't Marvel, DC, or Star Wars. This is Season 2, Episode 2. It's graduation day. Now we realize we're a little behind here, getting this out. We had some audio issues leading up to this episode, as well as scheduling issues. But we're here now, filming episode 2 and 3 back to back. So here's episode 2.
Graduation day.
You have general thoughts before I guess we get into spoilers?
I don't know. This episode really was just felt like a really slow, it just the pace kind of halted. Got a little bit of development from Mark and his relationship. And then he kind of got into a funny situation with this universe's version of Atlanteans, if you will, fish people. Thought he was gonna have to have sex with a fish. We'll get more to that. Spoilers.
That's a tease.
Yeah, that's a little teaser for you. There's a certain aspect of this episode that I'm like, well, why didn't we see that? But then later, Cecil's like, I want the recording to that fight. And you hear stuff, but I don't know if it was meant to amount to anything. And it kind of felt like that was really just kind of the highlight of this episode. And then, yeah, that's just kind of it. So that's just a couple things that stood out.
I think I kind of agree with you overall. I mean, we are going to be doing episode 3 after this, so I can just kind of say, I think episode 2 so far this season, just in my opinion. Not that it's bad. I actually think it's still a good episode. But I think 1 and 3 kind of eclipsed it. I agree. I think
there's
some good development with Mark. I think you see some breadcrumbs of development with Debbie in this episode, his mother.
Yeah, that's true.
Some falling out with some of the I guess the Guardians say. I don't
Guardians,
yeah. I don't want to get too detailed about that. But overall, I think it's a good episode, but I agree, especially after coming off the premiere, it seems kind of like things kind of came to a halt a little bit and slowed down quite. But
yeah.
I think, especially now that 3 is out, I think 3 is kind of beneficial from it. So it feels more necessary now, but I still, what I said stands. All right.
Well, three was it got back to, well, whatever. We can get to it when we talk about 3. I'd say that 3 did benefit from this one being a little slow, but yeah.
But season 2 is going off to a steady pace. So of course can't really talk much more without getting to spoilers, because this episode kind of jumps around a little bit. But so yeah, you've seen it by now. But hey, if you liked it so far, subscribe. If you haven't, come back when you have seen it. Getting into spoilers, it is graduation day. High school graduation is official. They're sitting there. In the midst of it, Mark has to flee to fight Dr. Seismic and some magma people. I'm going to run through this really quick.
Oh, that's right. Yes, because dude. Okay. Right. That was the one thing that I was telling you, how this episode, there's a moment where I just lost my shit, and that's why I love this show, is because it is serious and it's violent and brutal, but like it also doesn't take itself seriously. It's kind of like it's just like The Boys and Gen V except animated.
Basically.
In my opinion.
Less sexual,
dude.
but
Yes,
yeah, over
the when
the
he's
violence,
when he's fighting, what was the villain name?
Dr.
Seismic.
Yeah.
When he goes, he's like, "You made this machination of a phallus out of the Earth's rock." He's like, "I will tear down this building and all like it," and he's just, "Well, isn't that all buildings on the planet?" And he just responds to us, "You can keep the ones made of wood." It was so stupid, but I just lost my shit to that joke. I was like, that was so fucking dumb. But I just like, the delivery was so fucking funny. Sorry, I don't know how fast you were gonna like run through it. I mean, that wasn't that big of a part, but I just remember like this episode, that's the only moment in the whole episode where I just lost my shit on my couch.
I think there was another joke too where he calls him Professor Seismic or something. He's like, Dr. Seismic. I've never teach a class in my life.
Yes, he does say that too.
But after that, big old fight. I mean, obviously Mark takes him down, wins. Bang, bang. Rex catches Kate with Immortal in the showers, cheating on him. You know, well, they were not together, I guess. So, yeah, whatever. The cut to we get a scene with the escaped astronaut, alien that disguised as an astronaut last season, watching a highlight of basically the Martian Man. It's Martian Manhunter. All right,
it's their Martian Manhunter. Yeah, I forgot what the fuck they call him, but
I can't remember either.
It's their Martian Manhunter. Yeah.
But then we get some rumblings of something happening in whatever city, Gotham, and Mark goes to check it out, and it's Night Boy now as Darkwing, which is basically a nice play on Nightwing,
like Night becoming Batman.
Yeah. So I like that, but it seems like he's a little cray.
A little bit.
Hearing voices, I guess, pulls him into a shadow realm, I guess. This scene I thought was really cool. He's basically, he wants to trap Mark in there because his dad killed the other Guardians, and basically he gets a hold of Mark gets a hold of one of his arms, and it's just one of his arms, both of them actually in the end. But he's just like, well, if you believe all these things, then I'm Omni-Man's son, basically. Like, what do you think I'm exactly like capable of? Like threatening him, like finally seeing a little bit of a dark side to Mark to get himself out of this shadow realm that he could have been trapped in. But I thought that was a good scene.
Actually, kind of forgot that was even in this episode because it's kind of quick.
Yeah, it is a very fast scene.
Yeah,
but it helps play on the themes of, you know, how much is he like his dad.
Well, I do forget though that these episodes are like 50 minutes long, so
they're pretty beefy.
Yeah, so I do forget some things that happen in some of them. Yeah.
My next note here is Eve's parents are dicks. That's my next note.
Oh yeah.
Mark takes Amber to the Las Vegas Eiffel Tower, or Little Paris, isn't it?
I think so.
Eventually gets called by Cecil to come back because now he has to we think marry a fish, well, an Atlantean, but they're fish.
Right.
They're fish.
They're fish people.
They're fish. They're fish.
They're fish people.
Meanwhile, well, no, we'll just finish this story. I'm not gonna bounce back and forth. But instead of actually having to marry the queen, they changed their traditions to where now, because of what Omni-Man did to her husband, which was basically the Aquaman equivalent of the Guardians team. Can't remember. apparently he was a joke anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, some joke of a king.
But
so now, no, the best part about this was she said how we got rid of that barbaric rule ages ago, and he's like, all right, well, what do we do now? Fight to the death. It was just another different barbaric rule. Like, that was the best part.
I did like how it started off with like the little squishy part, and they pulled like a Finding Nemo or whatever. Where he goes up and he's like wrestling the little squishy thing, and then this big ass like fish monster appears.
Yeah, just giant.
More of a crustacean actually. Yeah. So he has to fight that. In the meantime, he's calling for backup from Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil eventually like gives it to him, calls him to come up. But Mark refuses because he basically empathizes with the people. Oh, in the midst of this, the monster gets free because his chains are broke, so he starts attacking the other Atlantean people.
Right. And he's gonna he's gonna kill the queen, but then Mark. So Cecil tells him to leave, but Mark's like, I can't, and Cecil's like, Mark. For some reason, Cecil says like, Mark, like you literally you're not your father. And Mark just says, like, and that's why I have to go back to save them. Because he's like, to him, he's like, yeah, you're right. My dad would have just left these people to die because he was an asshole. And so Mark's like, no, I'm going to go save him. And he saves the queen.
And I like how he also empathized during that conversation. He was like, well, the only reason they attacked me... because Cecil's like, why do you want to go back and help him? And he was like, well, because the only reason they, like, attacked me is because of what my father did.
Right.
So it's like even further emphasizing, putting more emphasis on how different he is from his dad in a way. He's more empathetic to others and their thought processes. But, in the meantime, Mark's mom is trying to sell her house, runs into this asshole of a husband who's very demeaning to his wife. Reminds her of Omni-Man, and she calls him out and saying she's not your pet. Wheeler tells her to go home, or take it. Well, not go home, but take off basically and take a breather and relax.
Yeah.
I call my notes for the big crustacean. I just put "big boy gets loose." There's also a conversation with Cecil and Donald, so we get confirmation more emphasizing that Donald is back after he should have been dead last season.
Well, it's because they make clones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we know that answer
yet. Yeah, we do, right? Because I thought...
I don't know if we've... I don't know. I don't know if we've been given the answer.
I thought I thought even in season 1, like... Unless I'm mistaken, I'd have to go back. I thought even in season 1, like, Mark, like, died at one point, and then he came back, and it's like, you figure out it's because, like, the government can clone people.
Well, yeah.
Or I don't know something like that.
I mean, there's like...
It's like close
yeah, it's
to
probably
that,
implied that's why Donald's back, but I don't know if they've actually confirmed that's why Donald's back.
I'm just saying, I just loosely... I mean, again, I need to go probably... To confirm that, I need to go back and watch season 1, because I want to say there's a point where, like, Mark does die, and then they end up cloning him, and it's okay, but maybe I could be very, very well mistaken, but... The thing, though, like, so the crustacean, like, when the crustacean and Mark, like, went down into the, like, depths of that cave... I just don't like how, like, you didn't really get to see how, like, Mark got out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't...
I don't remember. He probably just jumped his way out.
He ends back up on land, but you never saw the fight, and like
yeah, you're right. It does kind of cut, and then he's just on the beach. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and then he pukes. He's like,
so to get to your point about Cecil and Donald, well, they run the audio tape on the fight, and it's like, I don't know what you're supposed to take away from it. It was just weird. Like, they didn't show.
Must have missed that. At least the audio playback later.
Yeah, they play.
I mean, I remember them mentioning something about analyzing some audio, but I didn't catch what the audio was.
It was the audio of like when the crustacean pulled Mark down into the depths. So, but I don't know what you're supposed to make out from it. Like, it was very interesting. I just didn't like that choice, unless it has a different payoff for later, which is yet to be seen.
But that'd be an odd payoff. But maybe. We cut back to Eve, who's back with her parents. Her dad's well, they're both kind of haters, but especially her dad. Her dad's a dick.
Her dad's a hater.
He's a hater. Makes him like I think she makes some food. Then she also like turns food or an apple at least into gold, and like gives it to him like 24 karat, and he doesn't want it. He's like, turn it back.
She was like, go sell this.
Make some money. Because he's now working at Burger Mart because his work lapsed or whatever. We do learn in this conversation that the reason the government didn't revamp that park is because the foundation wasn't stable enough, so it ended up collapsing because she fixed it up. It couldn't handle the weight. Yeah. We got Shapeshifter Boy now, who is obviously the escaped alien astronaut who is now posing as a separate hero. I love how the Guardians are just like, yeah, come on aboard, man. We don't know a damn thing about you. Let's go. Come on. More merrier. We also get a cutscene of like the Lizard League who are having a meeting, and Superior Lizard gets domed in the face with a gun, and King Lizard is back, baby. Let's go.
Back, baby.
Let's fear, I guess.
See, like that's all this episode did, was it just kept establishing like plot lines for the future episodes, and that's all it did.
Yeah, and then the final one that they laid is it cuts to I cannot think of the name. The villain. I just put Brain Boy. Shows up in an alternate reality with Mark, who is captured, who I guess they just kept fighting him until he was so tired he finally took a nap and captured him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that was the funniest part about it, and then and doesn't he leave him to die?
Yeah, he acts like he's gonna like help him or something. The conversation was a little odd. I didn't really understand the point of this. I didn't really understand the point of this scene, unless he was there to help. Maybe he was actually there secretly in the background and is the reason they captured him in that universe. I don't.
Maybe
I didn't. But it also seemed like he was trying to help him to help assist him in a way. I didn't understand the point, because the two female alternate counterpoints of the universe we know of Donald and I can't remember who the other character that showed up was. But as soon as they show up, he's just like, all right, I'm out. Bink. And it's just like, okay, cool. That's episode 2, so yay.
Yeah.
Some cool things in it, but overall,
yeah.
Episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 7.3.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like 6.5.
I think I'm being a little generous, but
I was gonna say a 6.5 for me. I just did not enjoy this one that much. But there was a lot of growth.
But yeah, like I said, and you kind of pointed it out, his episode kind of seemed like it was more focused on laying seeds for future plot lines this season.
Yeah.
So just hopefully it's worth it in the end. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm kind of judging it a little less harshly, is because we've already seen episode 3, and I feel like you already get to see some of the payoffs from this episode next.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's by I'm being. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. Initial reactions, I was kind of like,
right, yeah, just like, oh, that was okay, I guess. That was my initial reaction. Still kind of is my reaction.
Spoilers for episode 3, it's a banger. So, if you'd like to check that out, that's probably live. Here, put it here. They will go up pretty simultaneously. But if you like what you saw, please give us a like and sub. KP, where can the people find you?
Always on X.com, which if you notice in your URL will still redirect to Twitter.com. At Politis K. And my YouTube channel is Kev M Politis. And Twitch.tv, Kevination _ for now. For now.
For now.
For now.
Subject to change. You can find me on Twitter.
In like 2 weeks. In like 2 weeks when I'm allowed to change my name again. Yeah. Like I'm for sure. The one I want, like fingers crossed, knock on this wood, the one that I've actually decided on and I want, I believe is available.
I don't know if you
want to. I won't have to.
I don't know if you want to put that on the public. If you want to put that on the public.
Well, they don't know what it is.
I thought you were gonna say it though.
Fuck no.
I thought you were just gonna say it. I was like, well, that's a fool.
This is
that's a fool's game.
This is
right
for
there.
Me. This is for me. Fuck y'all.
But you can find me on Twitter, aka X gon' give it to you, at Jsib20, and on twitch.tv/Jsib20 as well. Him and I are usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays on Twitch.
I mean, my Twitch schedule is labeled as Tuesday, Thursday streams for Destiny 2. And so far, I've had 1 week down, holding true to that schedule. So, yes.
Go. So let us know what
it's
you guys
going to be a long season this next season, so we need games, folks.
But what did you guys think of episode 2 of season 2 of Invincible? Let us know down below. And like I said, so until next time, I'm your boy Jsib.
And I'm KP.
See ya later.